Welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Someone Six Sports. Today, my special guest is Duane Steinel from Two Goalies, One Mic. Today, we will be talking Sabres hockey.
Thanks for having me on, buddy. I am extremely excited to be here. Excited to talk some Sabres hockey. I know training camp just got started back up. We have the World Juniors. The semifinals are tonight. Team USA playing Finland, and I believe it is Canada versus Sweden. The Sabres have a lot of stock in these last couple games. So let's get right to it.
What do you think of the new Sabres players?
The new players that Kevin Adams brought in, I mean, it's tough to be mad about it. You know, obviously Taylor Hall is a huge addition. He won the MVP just a few short years ago with the New Jersey Devils. Then you brought in before that via trade with the Minnesota Wild. You brought in Eric Stahl, former Stanley Cup champion. The guy, you know, his resume speaks for itself. You also brought in Cody Eakin to play on your third line in the center position, which is going to help a lot with scoring depth, something the Sabres have been lacking for a long time. And then other depth signings, you brought in Matt Irwin, which is a depth defenseman. And then obviously Tobias Ryder, Toby Ryder, Reeder, or however the heck you want to pronounce his name. You know, one of the more premier penalty killers in the NHL, you know, that's going to help this penalty kill a lot, seeing as we have had one of the worst penalty kills for a few years now.
How do you think Kevin Adams has done building the team?
You know, he hasn't given me much to complain about yet. Like I just mentioned before that, you know, he brought in some new faces, some faces that are expected to contribute right away. Again, especially with Hall, Stahl, and Cody Eakin, hopefully. You know, during the restricted free agency, he brought in, not brought in, but brought back, you know, Linus Ullmark on a very team-friendly deal. He brought in, brought back Sam Reinhart, which a lot of fans were worried about for a while, you know, where he would fit in. Not where he'd fit in, but how much money he would demand. And with this year, the cap being a flat cap and the Sabres not having a ton of money to spend, they got Sam to sign another team-friendly deal. And same thing with Victor Olofsson. He came in at a much lower number than I initially expected as well. So, you know, it's been a lot of fun. There's some things that he's done that I don't necessarily agree with. I thought he overpaid Zemgus Girgensons quite a bit, but I think we can chalk that up to possibly him being an inexperienced general manager. You know, he kind of jumped the gun there. He probably could have let Zemgus Girgensons kind of waited out a little bit. If he wanted to test the free agency waters, he could have and came back to Buffalo with what he was offered, but I just don't agree with what they paid him. But I mean, again, there's a lot more positives than there are negatives. So far, so good.
What do you think of the prospects coming from the World Juniors?
I mean, I don't know if you've been watching it, Robbie, but you know, the World Junior Tournament, a couple of these guys have been really showcased. Obviously, Dylan Cousins has really, you know, emerged as a dominant force in this tournament. I believe the last time I checked, he might have had 13 points. He was leading it was either him or Trevor Zegras with Team USA, Anaheim Ducks forward, you know, leading, or he was either leading or tied in the tournament lead. for the tournament lead with for points. So it's been exciting. Ryan Johnson has slowly started to impress me. We were kind of unsure about him. He was the last piece of the Ryan O'Reilly trade. Some media critics like to say, well, we don't know if we lost that trade yet because we don't know how good Ryan Johnson's going to be. Well, we lost that trade because Ryan O'Reilly won a Stanley Cup the next year with St. Louis. So we definitely lost that trade. But even with that being said, Ryan Johnson seems to be progressing and seems like he's really taken a hold of that blue line for Team USA, and I can't wait to see how much he further develops. And I'm sure after this tournament, he'll probably make an appearance in Buffalo with in training camp. But we will see. And then Jack Quinn, the Sabres 8th overall pick in this past year's NHL entry draft. I wouldn't say he's underwhelmed. I think he's merely being controlled by Andre Tourigny, the head coach of the Team Canada, but he's also Jack's head coach in the OHL with the Ottawa 67s. So I think he's not asking too much of him. He's kind of being controlled a little bit. So I think that's the reason why you really haven't seen Jack Quinn really stand out from the crowd, even though, he led the OHL last season in goals. And then there is JJ Peterka, who really surprised a lot of people. We saw shades of how well he was playing over in Europe, and a lot of the highlight goals he was scoring over there. And then I think he ended this tournament before Germany was eliminated. I think he had 10 points, which was unexpected. But again, that's a Kevin Adams pick, so you cannot be disappointed with that. So all in all, so far, I couldn't be happier with the way our prospects in the World Juniors have performed.
Yeah, I watched a few of those games, like that JJ Peterka and Jack Quinn and Dylan Cousins. They looked like they would be like good enough to make it in the NHL.
Yeah, Peterka for sure. He looks like the development he is and the progress he's made. Again, he's only been Sabres property for a few months here. So it's very surprising to me that JJ Peterka fell to the second round. A big head scratcher there for me because he was very dominant in the short time we got to see him here in this tournament. I know they were eliminated. I think it was 2 days ago. But Dylan Cousins, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He's absolutely dominating. I think he had a 6-point performance to lead off the tournament against Team Germany, and he's just been still on fire since then, and he looks to continue that tonight against Sweden. I believe it's Sweden.
What do you think of the new division alignment, and where will Buffalo end up in the standings?
Well, it's a tough division the Sabres have fallen into. The 8 total teams in this East Division. It's Buffalo, Boston, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, the Islanders, the Rangers. Trying to think who I'm missing. Actually, I apologized earlier. It's Canada versus Russia, not Sweden. I forgot. Sweden was actually eliminated by Finland. That's my mistake, everybody. But it's extremely difficult division to be in. A lot of playoff teams. Oh, the New Jersey Devils, they're the other team. A very uphill climb, especially coming from where Buffalo was last season. But again, we've added a lot of new faces to this lineup. A lot of guys that are expected to jump right in and contribute immediately offensively. And I think the shortened schedule, the condensed schedule helps Buffalo. Now the big question here is Boston lost Zdeno Chara. They're expected to start the season without Pastrnak and possibly Marchand. That could be very beneficial to Buffalo because those 3 guys are three of their key players last year I don't care how old Zdeno Chara is below the faceoff dots. There's not many guys better in the NHL defending in front of their own net than Zdeno Chara. And then obviously you have the Rangers. You know, Alexis Lafreniere got the first overall pick. Artemi Panarin, just a lot of Zibanejad, a lot of good faces in the Rangers organization. And we're going to have to play them a lot more often than we're normally used to. I believe it's 7 or 8 times this season. And then there's also, the Islanders, Barry Trotz's Islanders. I know Matthew Barzal is unsigned, but I expect them to sign him fairly soon. Very difficult team to play against. Barry Trotz has kind of taken like a hybrid Devils system where he plays a very well disciplined defensive game. They don't take a lot of penalties and they bury their chances. And then again, you go down the lineup, you have Pittsburgh, who, is on the older side. A lot of these guys are past their primes, but it's still Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. They have a new starting goalie, not new, but, Matt Murray has gone to Ottawa, and now Tristan Jarry is the expected starter. And, he had a lot of great flashes last season. He might have even made the All-Star game. I'm not sure. But that's still a team that's going to compete. And then, again, the Devils, I'm not really scared of the New Jersey Devils at all. The Philadelphia Flyers, Carter Hart, Giroux, just to name a couple of the players in that roster, just teams to be scared of. But, again, Sabres have added a lot of fresh faces to this lineup. Taylor Hall, you cannot dispute that. Him on Jack Eichel's wing, they're going to abuse goalies in this division. Absolutely. I don't care who's in net. I would, in an 82-game season, if they were playing 82 games, and I really don't think this is as far-fetched for me to say, I would put Jack Eichel with Taylor Hall on his left side and say, I don't think it'll be Sam Reinhart, but I would expect it to either be Olofsson or Skinner. I would expect Jack Eichel, if it was to be an 82-game season, I would expect Jack to come in at least at 100 points.
What do you think of the goalie situation in Buffalo?
Well, the goalie situation, a lot of people aren't very excited to see Carter Hutton back, but there were those issues with his eyes. I know he had to get, I think it was surgery. Apparently he was seeing 3 of everything. I don't know. But, but Linus Ullmark proved to me, at least last season, that he is definitely good enough to win in this league if you build the right team in front of him. And one of the big things about winning and helping your goaltender is having better puck possession. And this team should be better at possessing the puck. They should have the puck a lot more often than they did last season, with bringing in guys like Eric Stahl, legitimate second-line center. Taylor Hall, a guy who can drive the play from the wing on the left side of Jack. And then, again, Cody Eakin, whose Corsi numbers weren't that great, actually very underwhelming. But hopefully, if you surround him with the right guys, maybe he can improve on that. We'll see. But all of those things should help Linus Ullmark, and especially a better penalty kill. Again, on the road, I think the Sabres had the worst penalty kill in the entire league last year. If you bringing in guys like Tobias Reeder, and then obviously Cody Eakin, guys who take pride of playing on the penalty kill, you would hope that they can improve there. And if all signs point to us improving in those areas, you would expect to let less goals in, even if you get the same goalie as you did last year with Linus Ullmark, even if there is no improvement. So that's what I think. But we'll see. Again, it's a tough division with a lot of good goalies in it. I do not think it's far-fetched to think that the Buffalo could contend for that 4th or even 3rd spot.
Any questions for me before we wrap it up?
Yeah, buddy. Are you excited for the season?
I'm excited to see the new prospects that are coming out this year, and hopefully Dylan Cousins can make an impact on the roster.
Well, I would think Dylan Cousins would probably be coming in somewhere around your third. Maybe he might even sniff the second line here and there. He definitely showed that he had the speed on the wing. Even though he plays center, he definitely has shown this tournament he has that breakaway speed to play on the wing, especially when he comes in wide. He's seen a few of these goals he scored on breakaways. He was stride for in the neutral zone. He was stride for a lot of these defenders. And then he just broke away, just really showcased the speed there, which isn't something that we actually expected coming into this to see how fast of a player he is, because he is a very big centerman. But that has also been a breath of fresh air too. So I do expect Dylan Cousins to be on this roster next season. I do expect him to contribute. Also, I see. Have you got yourself? What do you think of the new Royal Blue jerseys?
I like the that they went back to the old colors with the
Do you like the reverse retro?
The
reverse retro with the third jersey they're going to be wearing this season. Are you excited about that?
A little bit, because I mean I like the black circle, but like I mean,
did you want the old red and black jerseys back?
No, maybe they could have went like with the blue instead of the white on
the blue instead of the white. I mean, why not? It's our opinions that matter most, for sure. I think we're the ones buying the jerseys, not the players, not the owners. So I definitely agree. It's your opinions on that. It's open to interpretation to maybe how they could have improved on the jerseys. I like them personally, but with that being said, buddy, you got bowling tonight. I guess you told me you're a big bowler. I see on the back of your wall there. See some bowling pins. I mean, if me and you, when the pandemic is over, if me and you go bowling, are you gonna beat me? Are you gonna beat up on me?
No.
I'll tell you, I haven't bowled in like 20 years. So I mean, are you gonna rip into me?
No.
You can be honest. It's fine. It's fine.
No. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? No, I'm just saying. Are you? What's your average bowling score?
Like about 190, 180.
That's pretty good. I'd be lucky to bowl an 80, buddy. I'd be lucky to bowl an 80. I'd be spending most of my time in the gutter. That's a fact. No, I have the utmost respect for bowling, because I could never in my life figure out how to throw the ball correctly, especially the way some of you competitive bowlers do. So I hope you have a good time tonight at bowling, and hopefully in about a week and a half here when the season starts, we'll be talking some Sabres wins. Hopefully we'll see. I know they start the season on the 14th.
Yeah, against my second favorite team, Washington.
The Washington Capitals. Are you a big Ovechkin fan?
Not Ovechkin.
Not Ovechkin.
The Dmitry Orlov, that guy.
Really? I mean, hey, to each their own. I've always been a huge Ovechkin fan. It's a shame that the pandemic happened and the seasons as getting cut short from 82 to 56 games, because I do truly think that he has a legitimate shot of breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals scored record. He's only a couple hundred short of it, and he's not old. I think he's like 30, 33 maybe now. So I think he does have a legitimate shot at breaking that record if he stays healthy the rest of this way through. I think he needs to average like 40 or 45 goals a season, which would be pretty cool to see, because those are one of the records that I think nobody would have ever thought would be broken, and he's on the verge of breaking it.
Thank you for watching this episode of Let's Talk 716 Sports. Thank you to my special guest, Duane Steinel of Two Goalies, One Mike, for joining me. And go Bills and Sabres.
Thanks, buddy.